Hey everyone, it's Major Reaction, and today we will be taking a look at Who-Man from Savage Crucible Wave 2. Here's a look at the bio on the inside of the box. Feel free to pause it. Alright, let's take a look at him out of box. Great looking figure. Beautiful paint apps. Armor is a tad plain for my liking, and under this particular lighting looks kind of plastic, kind of fake. But once I use my dynamic lighting, I've noticed that it can look a lot better. Let's get him out of the box. And we'll see how he poses right out of the box. Alright, so first off, let's hit that T-pose. Nice T-pose. Full range movement in the arms, not impeded by the armor because it is free floating back there, so you can get it into any position you want. Just depends on, how goofy the armor is going to look. But one thing you can do is to kind of just reposition the armor after posing, just to get the kind of look that you want out of it. You can have it coming down, you can have it more up in the shoulder area, just whatever your preference is to make it look kind of however you want it to look. So, double jointed elbows, getting right about there, 90-degree bend on that one. Depending on where you place the gauntlet, like if I swivel the gauntlet a little, I could get a little bit more of a crunch on that. A little bit more of a, there you go. More bend than a 90-degree right there. So you just gotta move that armor piece around to where you want it to be. Got upper bicep swivel. Works good. And that bicep is kind of free floating in there too, as you can tell. So you get rotation there and there. You can rotate the joint right there. Bend it. We got a hinge joint there. Allows for different types of sword posing. Up and back like that. Rotation. Let's see if both hands are done like that. Yeah, both these hands have the hinge there. So the vertical hinge as opposed to the hinge on the top hand. Let's look at that neck articulation. So good movement on the side to side. Up. Not much going. That's kind of your neutral head right there. Up right there. Neutral. Trying to look up and then look down. Very good look down. Perfect for those emotional shots. Then we have cut right here at the upper torso area. It's being hidden by the armor. That's a swivel and a crunch. Then you got a swivel and a kind of a crunch down here on the lower waist area too. You also have butterfly joints. Let's see. As you can see right there, butterfly joint in and out. It's more noticeable on the back as the butterfly joint comes in and out. It'd be interesting to strip this down from all the armor and then really see how the body looks without anything else. I think the warrior with ball and chain is going to be our best representation of what the body looks like in that aspect. So we get full splits out of this character, even with the skirt, it's a soft plastic, but it's not the softest of plastic skirts. But they did the cut right where you should have it. That way we don't have to do it ourselves. So you can get a full splits pose. As far as forward and back, not too bad. double jointed knees, and you can kind of choose how you want to pose those knees. You can pose it from the top, from the bottom, try to get like an equal level of posing there to make it look as natural as possible. You have the swivel up here under the skirt. These can swivel as well, right here. And then ankle rocker and hinge. So a lot of articulation on these guys. This one, I feel like some of the armor is hindering him from getting the best two-handed sword poses. But also they haven't included any two-handed swords in any of these base figures so far that I've opened up. So Jaeger and Human both don't have a two-handed sword, but you can hit two-handed sword posing with the butterfly joints and the double jointed elbows. So you are going to get some really nice poses out of these. Let's take a quick look at the aesthetics. One more overview of that. I'll see all the intricate details, different details in the fabric. Like I said, paint app's done very well. Eyes on point. A lot of details going on. Even this one is kind of more of a more basic figure. There's still a ton of details. I mean, it's not an army builder type figure. You could army build it, but that's not what it's meant to be. It is meant to be like a name character type guy. So let's take a look at the other head sculpt really quick. Now this head sculpt, we might get more range. So let's try that out because the hair sits just a little differently. So let's try that out really quick. Well, actually, the hair looks kind of similar. I thought it was kind of more blown back. We'll see. These are the two different heads. Pop that screaming head on. Here, I'm going to pull this towards me so I don't mess it up. Nice and tight fit. No heat needed. Okay. Let's see if we get any more articulation on that. Downward pose. Still great downward range. Side to side range, good. I'm wondering if that gap is being created because of the way the hair folds back from the head, because that's just a little bit off in my opinion. But it looks like we're not getting any extra, let's see. Looks like we're not getting any extra upward movement out of this head, which is unfortunate because I figured it might be able to do that. And the only thing I'm not liking is this now gapping issue. To where, I don't know, it almost looks like you're not going to be able to get like too many shots where that head's not going to be looking gapping unless you're doing it like this, you know, straight on. Which I'm sure if you have the screaming head on him, most of the times you're going to want a straight on shot. But what if you want him running side by side with people? I don't know, maybe I'll have to play with that some more. See if I can get the head to sit lower down. But it did pop on, it snapped on there, so. I'd like to see if anybody else has that same issue right there where it looks like a gap. Alright, well we spent enough time on that head, so let's put the regular head back on. I'm also going to take a look when I'm done. Actually, let's take a look now and see if the heads just sit differently. I mean, this one almost looks like it's deeper, so therefore it should have less of a chance of gapping on the screaming head. But there is a really big gap between the jaw and the hair, where on here the hair falls right next to the jawline and covers the ear. So that could be what's creating that gap issue. So for now, not screaming. These are the different accessories that came with it. You get the awesome translucent glowing sword, shield, 3 sets of hands in total, and a mystery bag with mystery weapons. Also included in each box is a card, and when you open it up, they're like big trading cards. So there's holographic ones, there's rare ones, there's like, you know, there's a whole different like sub community of people that are into the cards and stuff. So yeah, that's your look at Who-Man from Savage Crucible. Probably show him doing a few poses just to end out the video. All right, thanks for checking it out. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments and I'll be sure to get to you. Major, out.